As a teacher, you have no doubt been using emails to contact large new numbers of students, or using email to contact your administrators or your coworkers. Have you tried using email as a way to try and increase communications, or trying to keep students aware of upcoming materials, and considered ways in which you could improve those emails? Maybe you've tried and failed. Well, today I'm going to talk about a couple of different ways in which you may improve your emails in order to get a greater buy-in, a greater attention to your work, and greater visibility. Staying in touch with your students is pretty important. You should try to stay in contact with them weekly or at least monthly as your class continues. This will keep them aware of the materials that you have going on, let them know common problems students face and how they can pass through them, or allow them to be aware of ongoing issues and how to solve those. This will also keep you in top of mind, or allow you to be aware of what communications they like and what it is that works best for them. So you probably are sending out some pretty standard emails letting people know when updates are coming, how to be aware of them, what they are, what your due dates are. But what I would caution you about is make sure that you are not overdoing it. If your emails that are coming out are constant, they're always the same thing, they are always setting people up just to let them know that a deadline is approaching, or just to let them know that a new week's materials have been opened up, you're probably not doing a good job. Students who are consistently receiving the same message from you over and over and over again would be like receiving an email from somebody to please buy a new product every week or every month. Once they see that coming in, they're going to stop paying attention. So make sure that the materials that you are sending out to them are timely, consistent, not exactly consistent, but timely and full of great information, so that they will always know that the material that they receive from you are worth picking up and reading. Now remember, if looking back at the old podcasts, you remember that, please remember, looking back at old podcasts, you will know that people are going to make decisions based on the things that are important to them and not on the things that are important to you. While that may be nebulous and vague, what that means is that if you are consistently letting them know that deadlines are coming, that may or may not grab their attention. But if you are constantly reminding them that they've got to have it done by midnight on Saturday, or our current project is going to require a PDF, make sure that you have run a print-ready pre-flight using Adobe Acrobat. That may be one thing that grabs their attention one week. The next week, if you are asking them to please be aware that the material that we are doing this week requires you to have extra craft, make sure you're setting aside time to trim these down for full bleed. Or, hey everybody, just a general reminder, the material that we have done this week needs to reflect the comments that were given to you in the Google document. So please revisit that. Or, this week we will have 50 plus words. Make sure you're following the formula with 2 sentences on what's being done well, and 3 sentences on what needs improvement and how they can do that. Remember, constructive criticism is important. Now, when you are building out one of your courses, you probably know that some of these emails can come in the form of announcements. Or some of these things, if you're doing it for the first time only, may revolve around common problems that people are facing, or it may revolve around consistent things that people need to keep in mind. And while it seems like maybe these are difficult to pen the first time through, or they are something that take a great deal of time for you to think about, to compose, and to make sure that you are talking about what the benefit of doing these things will be. While that takes a lot of time the first time through, it is something that you can use again and again and again. Whether it's something that needs to be done again and again for consistently low-performing students semester to semester, or whether it's something along the line of consistent problems that can be solved again and again and again. Once you create these emails or these announcements which tell people the proper way to get things done, you can use them again and again. It will be new to a new class of students. It will be new to new problem students. And it will be new to students who are excelling. So in effect, while you do have to work hard to make sure that they work one time through, it also means that the next time, no effort will have to be made to come up with it. Only the effort to identify who's performing poorly and which email you are going to produce to grab those people and motivate them to do better. So, the first thing that you need to make sure is, once you have crafted this set of emails, are the people who are going to be on the list of emails really the appropriate audience? A quick and easy way to do this is, first of all, set down an email. Dear student, probably you did not receive the grade you wanted on this last project. If so, please make sure that on the next project you're setting aside enough time to do the proper research, enough time to do sketching and refinement, and then enough time to work on your final piece until it is done. And as always, please present your work properly. Now, you wouldn't want to give that to someone who earned a B or to someone who earned an A. You might not even want to give that to someone who earned a C, but you might. So, looking in your grade book, that's probably an email that you would want to give to a student who earned a D or a student who earned an F, and possibly to students who always do well but who earned a C that time around. So, making sure that you have the proper students highlighted and chosen will be key to making sure that your message won't fall on deaf ears. Alternately, if you have an email that says, Dear student, it seems like you tried pretty hard on the last project, but there's always room for improvement. I know moving forward that you can do some truly excellent work. If you find that between now and the next project you would like to push things to the next level, please don't hesitate to contact me either by visiting me in my office during my posted office hours, by calling me or emailing me. I'm really open to meeting with you. I know you can do some fantastic material. That's an email that might be good for people who are getting C's or B's, who just seem like they might be falling a slight bit short of the A territory. Meeting with you might give them the opportunity that they need to push things to the next level up. Similarly, an email like, Mr. Smith, I'm sorry that this semester didn't work out the way that you liked, but I understand that sometimes we have obligations outside of the classroom that cause us trouble. While this semester didn't work out the way you wanted, there's still an opportunity here for you. This course will be offered again next semester in an online capacity. Please feel free to contact me either in my office or via phone or via email so that if you have any questions or any problems with any other courses, I'm certainly willing to help you out. Again, I bear you no ill will. Please feel free to keep lines of communication open with me, and I hope to have you in one of my seated classes moving forward. Don't hesitate to drop me a line if you have questions, comments, or concerns. Very sincerely, Tyler Dockery, with my email and phone number attached. Now, if you have a student who needs to return to the fold, a good idea to remember here is that if you are trying to contact them about issues that they have and how they might be able to solve it, then an important thing to consider here is give them one offer, a good, solid offer that they can choose from. If you try to give a student a laundry list of solutions in which they could choose to try to raise their grade or try to return to a great way to be, you're probably going to find yourself in a really bad spot, because studies show too many choices can often lead people who are not doing well to be stymied by indecision. If they're already not doing well, offering them 25 ways to do well might cause them to pick and choose. But rather, if you were to simply say, Bella, thank you for your email and your concern. I'm so glad that you reached out to me. I think that with a short 15-minute meeting, we can identify some key points for you to work on. Let's get together during my office hours at a time of your choosing to see if we can pinpoint a solution that works for you. Or, Norman, I see on your last project something seems to have gone wrong. Now, it may be that you've run out of time. On the last two projects, you've noted that you haven't really had the time that you wanted to set aside for projects like this. Why not try using the form that I've attached to this email? It will allow you to set aside time during your day that you are going to set for sleeping, time that you're going to set aside for meeting your in-class obligations, time that you're going to set aside for travel, time for work, etc. Make sure that you have locked off several hours based on the number of contact hours that you need for this course, which will be 4 hours each lesson, and the number of homework hours that you will need for this course, which is 4 to 6 hours per lesson. If you need to, go ahead and fill this in for all your classes, and I think you'll find that by setting aside a certain number of hours for every activity, you will find yourself with more than enough time to complete your objectives. If you'd like, feel free to fill that out and send it back to me. I hope you're having a great week. Please also remember that, like voicemail, email, it gets ignored. So have a really smart or snappy subject line that is bound to grab people's attention, such as GRD 121, important message about drawing 1. Or I don't even know what. I was going to say a person's name, but they probably get a ton of those. It could be Tyler Dockery Speaks. Who knows? Have a message that meets with them. Also, just remember that a long email will get ignored. So, try something short and sweet, or include an attachment. It may be something along the lines of, Chris, sorry we missed you in class the other day. Please remember that you are responsible for all notes on a missed class, so get with your buddy. You may want to ask your buddy specifically about the test prep that we had during class time. I know you won't want to miss out on that. Have a great week, and make sure that you're here on the test day early so that you can study. Doors will lock at 11:20. When composing your short email, this is also a great time to talk about specific and general benefits of the student taking advantage of what it is you're trying to ask. You could try something simple like, how would you like to be able to have a great set of sketches with half the time? ? As you are finishing your messages to your students, make sure that you go back. There's a hearse right here. I better not get in a crash, but if I do, luckily there's somebody right here on spot. Make sure that you go back. Make sure that your email is smart, succinct, to the point, and no misspellings. Professionality is key. If you have attachments, make sure that both they and the email are easy to read. Look at it not like you would look at it because you wrote it, but look at it in the way that a student would look at it. Try to look at it with as fresh eyes as possible. Another good way to keep people on board is by attaching documents that are going to be useful to the current task at hand, or documents which are going to be useful in a general statement about what it is that you're doing. So for instance, if you're teaching a class on typography, an article on how to pair fonts would grow very, 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 very well. On the other hand, if you have a website that teaches students how to kern and lead their type, which, by the way, if you're in a completely different industry, this could be an article on how to easily MLA format their references. If you have an article that is something of a general exception that students would really gain from, attaching that in an email to your class or to your coworkers is a great way to show added value in which students can learn more. It's something they can use enrichment all along the paths. These are great items to have, and they add value and they make you look more like an expert. Now, while you may think of email as a necessary evil, it is very easy to find yourself in a place where email is a crutch. Email is something that you use to just kind of shout into the void and hope that your students are taking it seriously and bringing it to heart. There is nothing out there that says that they have to pay attention. In fact, it can be a crutch that weakens you. Never, ever, ever, ever give up the idea that a personal touch is overlooked. A personal touch will almost always win out. To apply this knowledge today, go back and look at what kind of frequent emails that you are sending. Is there a way that you could keep a log, a book, or a central file outlining specific constant emails that you send? And if so, see what you can do about that. Is there a way that you can improve emails that you have set in the past? If they find ones that are constantly being set, why not go ahead and set those aside and make an appointment for yourself about 1 to 2 to 4 weeks in the future, where you will sit down, look over those materials with fresh eyes, and ask yourself in all honesty, would I read this? I hope this has found you well. Please feel free to comment in the doobly-doo below. Subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of our material, and share this with like-minded individuals. And please, by all means, simply destroy that like button, blow it up crazy large, and we'll see you in the future. And by all means, design your future.